guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Seat to Plate channel. My name is Brooke and there's a bug crawling across my lens, so that's gonna look weird to you. It's fine, we're doing great over here. So I am out here. You're probably gonna recognize this outfit if you watch my channel pretty frequently, because I just picked 35 onions. So the onion video will be coming out later this week. You're gonna see this video first. This is a tomato trellising video, because my tomatoes here at the community plot are a complete jumble. So my tomatoes here at the community plot are determinate tomatoes. Now, determinate tomatoes have a determined height. They have a determined number of fruit that they set. So if you do prune your tomatoes, then you should definitely not prune your determinate tomatoes. Indeterminate tomatoes are the other kind that they have an undetermined height that they can get to. I've had my indeterminates get 8-9 feet tall before. So the reason I'm growing these determinate tomatoes, which are over there, big reason I'm growing these indeterminate tomatoes is they set all their fruit at once. So one of my goals this year with the garden was to be able to can a bunch of tomatoes. Me and my boyfriend, you've met him, the plant daddy himself, he'll be helping me dig the potatoes here in a few weeks. We love pizza, we love homemade pizza, we love chili, so I need a lot of tomatoes at once so that I can can. I have tons of jars, I really like canning, I like making tomato sauce, so I actually had a viewer send me some determinate tomato varieties that he had luck with, and holy shamoly, I know why. So I have Invincibles, Red Snappers, Romas, and San Marzanos, and then I feel like I had a couple of other random ones sneak in there, but who knows. This is what happens when you don't label your plants. So the thing with determinate tomatoes is they get very bushy very fast. So that means we have to figure out how to trellis them. And I am way too cheap to buy $10 tomato cages for all of my plants. The ones that you're gonna see are ones that I was loaned here at the garden. These are my determinate tomatoes. They're basically like giant bushes. But there are lots of really good looking tomatoes in here. And I mean, these plants are just freaking covered. But I'm dealing with stuff like this, where like this tomato branch belongs over there. So we really I just need to get these tomatoes some support, because they're kind of just all over the place right now. So there are tons of different ways to trellis tomatoes. Today we are going to be using the Florida weave. I'm sure it was developed in Florida and that's why it's called that. I don't actually know. But what that means is we're actually gonna put a T-post at the either end of each row. So these are planted in 2 rows. And so we're gonna do one T-post on each side per row. So you need 4 T-posts, and then you're also gonna need some kind of twine. This is just hemp twine. I find it really durable, way better than cotton. Cotton twine tends to like stretch and then it doesn't actually do its job, which is to like support the tomatoes. So once we get the T-posts up, which is always a nice little shoulder workout, I don't have a T-post driver. I honestly probably need to get one with how often I use T-posts in my garden. It would probably make my life a lot easier, but you know, it's a workout, right? Everybody's telling you to do that. So you want to use twine, and then what you're going to do is you're going to tie it on one end, and I'll show you guys how I do this. You're going to tie it on one end, and then you're going to weave like one plant here, one plant here, and then you'll come back through and figure 8 it so that it like kind of all gets up. Few reasons you want to do this. Tomatoes, they are naturally actually a vining plant. So naturally, if you don't support tomatoes, they actually grow along the ground and they set roots almost like a watermelon does. I mean, watermelon does it differently, but a watermelon vines and kind of sets those roots, and so does squash. If you just let tomatoes grow without supporting them, they would eventually like kind of fall over and then root. The problem with that is you're not getting the tomatoes you want because they're on the ground and they're being eaten by bugs or they're rotting because of the moisture. So we support tomatoes to benefit from the food that they grow for us, but that's actually not naturally how a tomato would grow. So especially with these really bushy varieties, that's why we've got to have some way to kind of get them upright, so that we can not have as many issues with moisture and support them. So I am going to speed up this next part while I drive my T-posts in with a nice little mallet You know, it's a good aggression exercise too, right? Right. It just got really dark really fast, and I'm wondering if I missed some rain in the forecast. I think we're clear, guys. I sure hope we're clear, because this camera I'm filming on is not waterproof. Okay, y'all, I'm putting this camera away and I'm gonna use my GoPro because my GoPro is waterproof. So, change of point of view in 3, 2, 1. Okay, y'all, so we got our T-post up. We got all of our tomato plants. Now, we're gonna start maybe like 1.5 feet off the ground. So we're gonna come in about right here for our first one. Gonna tie a nice little knot just to get us started. I'll double that up. And then, this is always hard the first time you do it. So, I have all my plants attached to a bamboo stake, but you gotta make sure you get around the plant. So we're gonna come around this side for this plant. This plant is in a cage, so we've gotta take that off. Didn't think about that when I started this. This might not come off that easily. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave this one because I don't want to rip off any fruit, any potential fruit that we could have. So we're just gonna come around the cage, no big deal. And then I've got clearly way too much slack here. So you wanna make sure you try and get it down through the branches as best you can. I have these plant clips that are kind of helping hold everything together right now. But, all right, so it looks like here we are on that side of things. All right, the next plant is right here. This is why you should do this before your tomatoes become a jungle. All right, get around this one. Okay, we're making progress here. Now there's 2 right here. I planted these really close together, so this is gonna be a little tough. Oh, I totally just broke a branch. It's fine, guys. Everything's great. Everything's fine. Also, why do tomatoes stick to each other like this? It's really, really annoying. I know you want to be friends, but I don't want you to be friends. Also, it's definitely getting darker and I feel like it's going to rain. So, you've weaved them. Now you're gonna come around the other side. Oh man, it's getting real dark. You're gonna come around the other side and do a figure 8. And this is where you're gonna notice a lot of the support coming in to these plants. You're gonna stand up a lot straighter. We're doing it. It's happening. All right. Now I gotta do a little cross ski over here. I may or may not be like accidentally stabbing myself in the side right now. It's fine, everything's fine. Okay, so we'll come around here and then we will come back around this guy who, big reason I'm doing this is because it needs to be done, but also because, see that right there? I actually accidentally cut the top off of my tomato plant last week while I was weed whacking, and it was really unfortunate. So now that we have a whole weave done, we're gonna make sure we keep it nicely pulled tight. We'll cut it, and then we're gonna tie it to this that we already tied. You wanna do this about every 6 inches, so I don't think I have, ooh, dizzy. I don't think I have enough to do another round right now, but you can already see some of these plants are just standing up so much straighter instead of just being completely leaned over. So like we can even take this guy and have it stand up even straighter. The reason normally I wouldn't plant tomato plants quite this close together, but these are determinants. So, you know, they're not gonna last they're gonna just produce as much fruit as they can, and then they'll be done. So the thing with that is, if they get powdery mildew or they get some other disease, it's really like not the end of the world, because, it's really not the end of the world. And the reason for that is the plant just has the amount of fruit that it's gonna have, and that's just kind of it. So definitely a few of these that I'm probably still gonna have to figure out how to kind of get tamed a little bit, but this is already looking much better than it was. So I think I'm gonna go put my camera away. It looks very dark out here so that I don't get rained on. But we're gonna do the other side either today or tomorrow, and that's the Florida weave.